All right. So before we get started, you know what to do. Let's give everyone a big wave. Everyone here that's in the pretty Zoom room, everyone that's live watching on the in the Facebook group, or if you're watching the recording, welcome aboard. I thought we'd do something different today and actually do some deep inner work, because there are times, yes, when we want to delve into some learning and some strategy and some real cool ways in which you can grow your business. But there are also subtle forces, be it emotional forces, spiritual forces, energy forces, that are also big and very, very impactful and meaningful for your business and your business growth and what you're here to give. And so I thought, might as well take the opportunity to do some work, to create some shifts, see what happens on the other side. Whether you manifest something crazy, whether you come up with a really inspiring idea, whether you deeply feel a shift within yourself. There are so many beneficial ways that diving in deep and just breathing and sitting in silence, having an intention and meditating can really, really have an impact. So show of hands, who here has a consistent meditation practice? Show of hands. Okay, cool. Who here is somewhat consistent? Cool. Who here has never meditated before in their life? No one. Damn. Thought there'd be one. But when we breathe deep, when you go within, when you have a particular intention for meditation, it's really cool to do it as a group, because there's a way in which there's not only an accountability, but there's also an energy that's with us who are doing it. Right? Do you guys know of the experiments they did when people meditate together and they have a particular intention for a particular city or a particular cause? Stuff happens. Can I explain it? No. But I know we feel it. And if you're coming to the end of the year and you're stressed about certain things, or some fears are coming up, some insecurities, some doubts, some judgments, whatever it is, then there's some real power with taking a look at it and going deep. And then on the other side, you may find that the strategy starts happening in it with a different vibe. The strategy and the ideas start flowing. You start manifesting some things that you may not have manifested before. But I think the real true power is in what you feel, is in the meaning and the depth. You're able to enjoy life with a deeper perspective, right? Coming back to your purpose, coming back to the true reason of why you're here. And I think that's what we can tap into. So one thing I want to have in mind before we get started is, what's something that you're feeling right now that may be uncomfortable? You may have some uncertainties, you may have some doubts, you may have some confusion, you may have some anxiety or sadness or whatever it may be. What's an emotion that's coming up right now for you in your life or in your business that you may want to meditate on, that you may want to create a shift around? And yeah, definitely if people, I know Empress has just said she's going to turn off her camera. You guys can definitely do that while you meditate if that's more comfortable for you. So you feel free to do that. But while we go deep, I want you to focus on that energy specifically, that emotion. What's one emotion that's coming up for you? If there's an uncomfortable emotion that's coming up for you organically, great. If not, you may want to ask yourself these questions. 1, what do you fear most? Is it going broke? Is it being judged? Is it your mum not liking you? I don't know what your mum's like. People have family stuff. Is it, that you're not good enough to succeed in this entrepreneurial endeavor? So what do you fear most? What does your mind fear most is often, just a loose, simple question you can ask yourself. Another question is, what do you catch yourself judging as right or wrong, good or bad? What do you judge in the world or where you're at, certain time frames, right? Should be here by now, shouldn't be here by now, whatever it may be. Or where are you attached? What are you attached to? Results? Are you attached energetically and emotionally to people, to outcomes, right? To money? What are you attached to? What are you energetically or emotionally attached to, especially those goals that we set in business? Are you attached to that, thinking that your worthiness or your, ability to be loved or feel love is impacted by that, the achievement of that goal? What's something that aligns with you there? If not, and you're just feeling love and peace, that's just as beautiful. That's just as beneficial. I just thought I'd bring these things up because these are often the things that people are trying to avoid. We know that. We recognize that. These are often the pieces of the emotional patterns that people are trying to avoid feeling by going out there and succeeding. That's why we like to focus on it. Because these emotions, these different sides of you that are scared, all they need is light. All they need to do is be seen without judgment and without resistance. And if you can do that, the energy starts moving around in your body, starts being processed, and starts being transmuted. And that's what we can focus on. That's what we're going to do today. We're actually going to do the work. Who's aligned with that? Show of hands. Beautiful. Because what's the alternative? You just keep chasing this external thing, trying to avoid something within yourself, and that just keeps pushing it down where it grows unconsciously. I'm sure many of you are on the journey enough where you've realized whether there's a snap of fear or judgment or anger or rage or something comes up because you've been pushing something down instead of giving it permission to be felt, giving it permission to be freed up in your body without judgment and processed. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do now. And hence why I asked the questions. What's something that's coming up for you? Something you fear? Whether it's a judgment that you notice, or whether you're attached to something and what emotions are there around it. So if you have an emotion, if you have something that you know is coming up organically, you could feel it somewhere in your body, let's focus on that. And if you just feel love, peace, joy, and some things start to dissipate and that's all you feel, go with that. Enjoy the love, enjoy the feeling of abundance, enjoy the feeling of bliss, or pleasure, whatever you feel in your body. Sound good? Do we have any questions before we get started? No questions. Okay.
I have a question.
Go for it, Jenny.
Is it possible to be feeling two conflicting beliefs or to be working, or emotions to be working on two things during this?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You generally want to focus, like place your attention on what you're feeling at the moment. It's pretty hard in the moment to be feeling two things at once. But if you do, I would just hold space for both. And however that represents itself physically in your body. You can definitely do that. Or you try going back and forth, focusing on fear, focusing on sadness, focusing on joy, focusing on excitement, and just bounce back and forth. But there's nothing less transformative about holding space for both of them. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Any other questions before we get started? I want to highlight on the reason why we're doing this. Once again, these things are organically coming up for you, right? You have something externally that's triggering a wound, a trauma, a pattern within you that's organically coming to the surface, right? This is life helping you heal something that's deep within yourself. This is life helping you go within yourself to reclaim your power, of what you've been giving your power away to. Maybe giving your power away to the opinions of other people, or away to certain fears and outcomes, right? Things that you're energetically attached to, you're giving away your power. When you allow that to be processed in your body, you reclaim that power, right? You reclaim that power so that you can use it in this present moment, so that your life force is staying here to be used for your creativity, your healing, your love, your connection with yourself and others, right? Towards your business and how you may be of service. That's what we're doing. Hence why after this, I'd love to know what you feel, what happens after this. I'd love to know what's going on in terms of what you manifest, what ideas come for you. I think that would be really cool. We can kind of, inspire everyone who's willing to do something similar. Sound good? Now, before we get started, on a lighter note, I'm on my girlfriend's laptop, so I'm visiting some friends. So right now I'm doing the call surrounded by these sort of things. I'm in a gorgeous 7-year-old's bedroom surrounded by doll houses and toys. And it's the most, I don't think there could be a more interesting place to meditate. So if you're up for that with me, then let's do it. Making sure everyone's on mute to avoid any particular distractions. And we're going to start by breathing deep. So I want you guys to do a couple of rounds of some deep belly breathing. While you breathe deep, just bring your awareness back to your body, back to what you're feeling. While you're breathing deep, just focus on each breath, going in and out. And just bring your mind back to this present moment. I want you to feel your body. Just continue to breathe deep. And I want you to notice the emotion that comes up for you. Once again, there may be fears, there may be uncertainties, sadness, doubt, confusion. There may be some joy, some excitement, some bliss, some peace. No matter what you feel, I want you to drop all judgments, drop all resistance. In order to do that, I want you to focus on the physical sensation of your body. Just welcome fully this emotion. Welcome fully any emotion. And while you welcome it in fully, I want you to feel deep in your body and see where it is you feel it. Mostly it's around your throat, your chest, solar plexus, stomach, around that area. But you could also feel it in your head. You could feel it in your legs, a bit all over. Just where do you feel that sensation when you welcome in an uncomfortable emotion or a comfortable emotion? When you've located where you feel it, just internally, just to yourself, I want you to just describe what it feels like. Does it feel like it's moving and pulsating? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel empty? Does it feel hot? Does it feel sharp and jagged? Just continue to breathe deep. Welcome the emotion in. And just observe what it feels like in your body. And then whatever that sensation is, I want you to amplify it slightly. Just be playful with it. I'll remind you that if you're observing and describing the sensation of the emotion, that means who and what you are is not the emotion itself. Right now, you're in the consciousness where you're observing. You're observing the sensation. You're observing the physical feeling. And almost as if you're turning up the volume on the radio, just turn up the intensity of this physical sensation. Just so you know you're not avoiding anything. And continue to breathe deep while you feel this in your body, while you hold space for this feeling. Continue to breathe. I want to also highlight you're not feeling it so it will go away. You're not providing space for it so it will go away. That's like loving a child so they'll leave. It's not actual love. What you're doing is you're breathing, you're feeling, and you're just observing while you drop judgment and you drop resistance around what you're feeling. Because while you feel this feeling, you can also notice the side of you who's feeling this emotion. There's a side of you who's scared. There may be an inner 5-year-old who has fear. There may be a younger version of you who learned that you need to succeed in order to get love, or you need to make money to feel safe. But people's perception of you is what matters most. There's a younger version of you who learned this. And that's what may be coming up to heal so you can reclaim that power. So your power can now come within you rather than being attached to something outside of you. This is the process of what's happening as you feel this emotion. If it helps, you can imagine this little one sitting on your lap. And while you still feel the emotion, send this side of you love. It's an unconditional support and compassion And you might notice the story this little one believes leading to this emotion. You're just going to breathe deep, expand your awareness, and hold space. Just a loving, safe space. Just keep going back to the question, what do I need to hold space for now? What do I need to hold space for now? You may notice the emotion, and you may notice also a side of you who has judgment about the emotion. Side that says, I shouldn't be feeling this. I should have moved past this already. Why is this coming back again? How long do I need to hold this for? What's the point of all this? If you notice a side of you who's holding those judgments, just hold space and send love to the side of you who has those judgments. Just expand your awareness to hold a bigger and bigger space for what you notice within yourself. You may notice a side of you who doesn't want to feel this, so they have resistance. Beautiful. Breathe deep and send them love. Once again, be in your body. Feel the physical sensations. It's not your job to change it. It's not your job to fix it. It's not your job to shift it. Your only intention is to drop resistance and judgment. You know you've reached a place of non-judgment when you'll be willing to feel uncomfortable, willing to feel the sensation in your body, just as much if it's 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 days. If you're just as okay feeling it for 5 days as for 5 minutes, then you know you've dropped judgment and you've dropped resistance. And in that space, you've welcomed in a trust, a divine trust that everything will happen in perfect timing, in perfect harmony for your healing and for what needs to be processed. I'll remind you that what's coming up right now is doing so in divine timing. Knowing that what's coming up within you and what you're facing in your life right now is allowing you to heal a wound, a trauma, a pattern that you weren't previously ready to heal. It's organically coming up right now because of your circumstances, because it's ready to be seen. This side of you, this pattern, this trauma wound is finally ready to be seen. It's finally ready to be healed organically. And as you feel it in your body without resistance and without judgment, your body operates like the healing furnace. It's like a healing flame that's just doing its thing. And you just need to observe it. So take the pressure off yourself. Notice how simple this is. You just have to observe. See what else you notice in your body. Tightness, heaviness, lightness. Continue to breathe deep. Just continue to hold space for whatever comes up, comfortable or uncomfortable. And just sit in that space of observation. Notice the simplicity and peace with just observing. So I'm going to be silent now for a few minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, with your intention being, what do I need to hold space for now? Whatever's coming up, what do I need to hold space for now? Without judgment, without resistance, what's flowing through me right now? It might be the love that you're holding. It might be more peace in observing. It might be more deeper layers of fears, uncertainties, confusion, worry, whatever it is. Welcome it, knowing it's happening perfect timing and you're being shown exactly what you need to see for your own deep healing. So I'm going to remain silent for a few minutes as you hold that intent to just heal what's coming up for you. So continue to breathe deep. Let's do that now. Just feel what it's like to no longer avoid any feeling, emotion, or side of you. What you're doing is you're providing light to the parts of you that were previously unseen and in the dark, just through your awareness. The more you see it, without judgment or resistance, you provide light to it, and just allowing the divine to do what it needs to, allowing the intelligence of your body to do what it needs to deepen your healing and to allow you to expand to a version of you that's outside the patterns of this fear, this trauma, this wound. So just breathe that in. Now I want you to feel the external circumstance that previously made you feel this uncomfortable emotion. And just notice if there's a different relationship with that trigger. Notice the being judged, the failing, the going broke, the making a mistake. Just notice that scenario played out in your mind and feel what's shifted in the relationship to that trigger and your emotions. Now that you've given yourself permission to feel what needs to be felt. Now that you're no longer in the illusion that it's something outside of me that makes me feel a certain way. What if you could move forward with your life knowing that everything that happens outside of you is the gift that's helping you heal more deeply by bringing up the wounds, traumas, and patterns ready to be healed through triggers. It's life just saying, hey, you're ready to take your empowerment back here. It's life saying, hey, you're ready to see this within yourself. You're ready to reclaim this empowerment. So while you feel a different relationship with these triggers, notice the empowerment that comes back, the empowerment that you get to reclaim, knowing that external circumstance may not trigger you as much. Since you've now healed the wound, you've now healed something that was deep within you that you needed to see. And imagine that empowerment, that depth of love, creativity, spontaneity, passion, purpose. Imagine that being reclaimed in your energy field right now. So you can use that. You can use that added life force towards whatever your dharma is. whatever your purpose is, this mission, your desire to serve, your desire to have fun, your desire to enjoy all of life. Feel that. Breathe that in. And feel that love in your heart that you have towards life. Just feel the energy of your heart right now. And the gratitude you have for life, the appreciation you have for life and everything it entails, including the challenges and the opportunities for you to grow, the opportunities for you to heal, so you have more to contribute to this world. Just feel that in your heart. Feel the compassion you have for all sides of you. Little 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds that live within you, that just need to be seen. Where you can love unconditionally the sides of you who could fail, love unconditionally the sides of you who could go broke, who could look silly, who could make a mistake in business, who can be judged, who can be bold and daring. From your heart, send unconditional love to all sides of you. Notice how that feels in your body. We're going to come back in a minute or two, but I just want to have you ask yourself, from this state of mind, what's something I need to remember? What's something I need to remember about this life, or about myself, about my business, about this journey? That's just going to give me a bit more peace. What's an insight? What's a memory? What's a key reminder that's coming from my heart right now that's just going to give me a little bit more peace as I go forward on this journey? The reminder might be, this is all a game. The reminder might be, hey, there's more to life than just trying to be certain. There's more to life than just trying to succeed. All I need to do is just follow my heart. What is it? What's a reminder? What's your heart telling you? When it feels right, feel free to open your eyes. If you have a pen and paper and you want to write something down that may be a reminder, then feel free to do so. Take your time coming out of this. Continue to breathe deep. What we'll do in a minute, I'd love to also go around the room and have people share their experience or what they felt. It may be the emotion they were holding space for. It may be the shift that was able to happen. It may be the insight. So take your time. Continue to breathe. And if you do feel called to raise your hand and share something with the group, then that would be really cool. Sophia had to leave, but she said, "Thank you for amazing meditation." You're welcome. Jenny, what would you like to share?
I started with feelings of doubt, like a little overwhelmment, but also very grateful because this is what I want to happen, and I feel like it's starting to happen. And so the doubt started creeping in today. The phone was ringing a lot and like, can I do this? But very grateful and I'm here for it. It felt like, I don't know, kind of like an empty kind of space in my gut. And by the end, the shift is just feeling really peaceful, really blissful. And when you asked at the end what came up, is just the words I can and I will. So just feeling calm and just in a better place now.
Amazing. Beautiful. Anyone else feel called to share? I think the shares really help because it allows us to, know we're not going through this alone. And it helps us really, I guess, highlight different insights that other people might be like, oh yeah, true. Right? Like for me personally, I mean, there's always fears coming up for me around what to do next in business, where to move forward, what's the best move. And it doesn't matter how much money I have in my bank account. It's always like, what happens if you run out? Anyone else feel that? That's just consistently always coming up, but it's coming up in a deeper way, like a deeper part, a deeper pattern to be healed. Right? So that when I operate in my business, it's not from I need to make money or else I'm not safe. All right, show of hands, who has something they want to share?
I'd like to share, Tyson.
Go for it.
For me, I felt like the entire time, even before you invited us to close our eyes and get into it, I felt like I needed to stand up. And I had a lot of intense swaying going on until we were maybe almost halfway through, a little more than halfway through. Then it started to kind of mellow down a little bit.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was good. Whatever it was, felt like it needed a little shaking out of there. And from the last response to what I need to hold space for right now was that I realized that most of the worry was the place it was sitting was in my head. And my soul was like, I got you. The path is already laid. I got you. Kind of message.
Beautiful. Like what a beautiful level of trust in that.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the beautiful thing about this is if you do trust that path, you also drop judgments about it as well. Your mind's always going to have an opinion about what should happen, shouldn't happen, what's good, bad, right or wrong. But if your soul's there just guiding you forward, you can drop all judgments around what your mind makes that mean. And I think that's a really cool manifestation and, byproduct of feeling, dropping resistance and judgment to what you feel internally. You drop resistance and judgment to what's happening externally. And you're able to move forward with a lot more creativity, a lot more love and peace and just doing what you, inherently feel is right rather than I need to do this because then I'm not okay if I don't make this money or have this person like me or be perceived in a certain way or all those core things, right?
Yeah. Thank
Well
you
done.
so much.
My pleasure. Linda, I think you wanted to have a share.
Thanks, Tyson. Yeah, what I was feeling is, sorry, I've got the sun coming in, is looking at the fears of success and failure, and this whole trip that I've been on in the US. I've had to really just surrender and let go and go with the flow, and let go of the expectations on what I want to create. And especially a week or so ago when I got sick in Palm Springs, I really just had to let go and stop so I could rest and heal. So it was just interesting to listen to the judgments on, but you have all of these things to do and you have to blah blah blah, and just to kind of release the pressure valve and just go, I can only do what I can do, and priority is allowing my body to rest and heal, and also just surrender to the outcome, whatever the outcome will be, and be at peace with that. And so that's where I'm at.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and kudos to all of you who are able to who recognize the power of this work and who is actually able to show up live and enjoy it as a group. Very well done. And just continue this vibration, continue this intent moving forward. And if you don't already do some of this processing work, add it to your morning routine. Add it through as an intention throughout the day, knowing that things are going to trigger you. Life, it will always do that. It's great like that, very reliable to always be triggering you, and allowing you to go deeper within yourself to realize how powerful you are. And that's always a key reminder on the business journey, because you signed up to face all of your fears when you decide to grow your own business, and that's the lesson we always need to remind ourselves of. So thank you for being here. I'll put the link to the collaboration call in the chat, because the collaboration call starts in about 5 or 6 minutes. So if you guys want to jump off and jump on that to meet some cool people, that's always been running. And same with these calls every day. I mean, not every day, every week at the same time. Then add it to your calendar. Every week we'll do something new, a new topic, something we can dive deeper on, and I can invite more experts and people like you who do have certain skills and experience to pass on to others in the group. So be sure to add those to your calendars. And if you guys want to jump in the serving circle and create your promotional post today, then you can definitely do that as well for the next 24 hours. So thank you for being here. I'll see you on the collaboration call if you can make it. And if you have any questions about the events we're running, just reach out to me and shoot me a personal message on Facebook, okay? Thank you all for being here. Continue the momentum, all right? Thank you all. Take care.